Hey, alright, so I've figured out a couple things. The date of that tape. So this is the tape right here. Sometimes I have trouble focusing with this camera. It's kind of a pain. Anyway, so it's a TDK SAX100. This is a 1990s, and there is a couple spots on the tape. So after all of the conversations with Geraldine and Steven, at the end there's some conversations between Steven and one of his friends, and they're talking about football players. I think they're doing maybe. It sounds like they're trying to pick a football player for something. I don't know, like draft picks or something like that. And he talks about there's a player from the Packers, and I don't remember his name, something Keith, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but I looked up the name in the Packers, and he played on that team in 1995 and 1996, and that was it. So, that, and also, there's one point in their conversation where they mentioned Forrest Gump, and something like, and I think that's when Forrest Gump came out, like right around that same time. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, so that places that this tape, 1995 to 1996, and it kind of makes sense. Like there's some things in there, like with the phone bill, and you kind of like, I think at the very beginning, the first, like the second message is from a phone company trying to get a hold of them. If you guys listen, because it all makes sense. I think it's the phone company is like, this is AT&T. We need you to get back a hold of me immediately. It's like because their phone bill is. It's all fucking good. It's so funny, guys. It's like, yeah, you know what I kept saying listening to it? This is golden. So I had a couple responses that this is gold. Hell yes. Believe me, I feel like I won the lottery. I mean, it really was like absolutely mind blowing. I mean, you heard my response on there, and I was like so stoked. I mean, like just unbelievable. That whole tape is good, man. And there's nothing on the other side. Now, something else. This might not be from an answering machine. It might be one. There was these things you could buy that you could hook into your phone line and record all of the calls. And that makes more sense. So I'm not sure, because even at the end when I'm saying that Steve is talking to one of his friends, that's being recorded too. So I'm guessing that Geraldine, before she moved out, you guys, you should do the same thing. Listen to it all and try to figure it out. Let me know. Geraldine probably had like, either she hired a private investigator or something, or she used one of those things that you could hook into the phone line that'll record everything. That makes more sense. Because it's for real. I mean, somebody mentioned, that, well, maybe, they're actors, and they said, well, okay. You know that's not the case. That's not the case. If they were actors and this was acted out, this tape would be famous. Famous, because it's just absolutely incredible. But that's not the case. I found it. Yeah, this tape was gonna get thrown away, you know. So anyway, let's see. The other thing, there is definitely conversations in the background. So the tape is recorded over other conversations. So that's curious too. It's like, that just makes me like wonder that that makes it seems like it is an answering machine tape, because you record over it, and then you know, or you record on it, then you record over that, and you know, you keep using it or whatever. But you know, some answering machines, it could have been a faulty answering machine that just records all the conversations. So there's that. The weird echo of what you're hearing, I think that might be something to do with, because you can hear the conversation you're listening to, an echo of that. And sometimes with when something's being played, so that could have developed in the process of, you know how when you have a mic, you know, you can get a kind of feedback delay thing, you know. So that makes me think that at some point when they were recording, when it was recording, it was getting a kind of a feedback delay based off the speaker and the maybe it was coming out of the answering machine at the same time. So he could have been talking, or she could have been talking in the distance, and it could have been picking up that in the distance, you know what I mean? Like, or something like that. Anyway, so that's a little bit of insight on this. I wrote Geraldine and Stephen on there 1995, 1996. I mean, this is like gold. It is like gold. I'm so freaking stoked. I almost want to like do a whole nother documentary video. It would be awesome to get somebody to do like animation or something. I don't know. There's like so many options with this, you know. Or just leave it as it is. It's funny just like this. And of course, you know, they'd be the one point she said he's 30, so if he was 30 in, you know, so he'd be in his mid 50s. I don't know about her. And also her accent is like, it's like Irish, German, Filipino, or Tagalog or something, maybe, or I don't know, man. That is like the weirdest accent I've ever heard in my life. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Freaking bizarre. Alright. Talk to you later.